Yeah. We good? Okay. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. Thank you so much. I know a lot of people are watching today, so thank you very much. Plus, we got the legendary Fred Snowflake here as well. So I want to make sure I give you your due credit in addition to all the reporters who are watching and, unlike Fred, didn't show up. Seriously, thank you for joining us today. I'd say happy tax day, but let's be honest, in Jersey, tax day isn't a time of happiness or celebration, but rather a time of stress, hardship, and frustration. That's why we're here today in front of one of the state's Department of Taxation field offices. That's literally right there. To stress that when I'm governor, my top priority will be to lower your taxes and lower your costs. It's why there's no better place to come than in front of the place where we are going to work to actually lower your taxes and lower your costs. So next April, when we're here, that's what we're going to be talking about. Think of me basically as your Xanax on tax day, right? My job will be to make your lives better, to get your costs down and get your taxes down. I've put out a tax cut plan and a separate lower cost plan, more than 40 pages worth of policy. Lower taxes is even emblazoned on my lawn signs. You can see them. See right there? I actually purposely brought one. It's by no accident that you see lower taxes here, right? It's for a reason, right? And by the way, this has been on my lawn sign, on all my lawn signs, since my first race for Congress back in 2016. Why am I obsessively focused on lowering your taxes? You don't have to walk more than a few steps into a diner to hear someone complaining about how high taxes are in Jersey. I was at a diner this morning, of course, where I stop often, and it's tax day, so people were talking to me about their taxes. And they're right. We have the highest property taxes in the entire nation, and some of the highest income taxes. Businesses are taxed more than any other state, causing us lots of jobs and lots of people. They either can't afford to move here, stay here when they graduate, or afford to be here when they retire. A recent study lists Jersey as the #1 out-migration state in the entire country. According to AARP's recent data, at least 41% of people age 50 or older in New Jersey are considering leaving the state. To get that again, and this is AARP's data, at least 41% of people age 50 or older in Jersey are considering leaving the state. The top reason they cite, by a long mile, high taxes. 40% of seniors also say property taxes are difficult for them to pay. And it's no wonder when bills can easily reach 5 digits. Businesses are leaving as well. We've lost a third of our public companies in the last decade, and I've spoken to a lot of small business owners who are really struggling to get by. And those that decide to stay, businesses that decide to stay, many of them aren't adding new jobs or growing here. They're actually moving those jobs to other states. So when I talk to folks, they tell me over and over again, they just feel crushed. They feel nickeled and dimed. And that's kind of like my headline today, right? People are just feeling crushed by these taxes and nickel and dimed. No, don't get me wrong. They love our state like I do. I'm a Jersey guy, 5th generation. Very proud of this. I love our schools, our beautiful beaches, lakes, diverse communities, and of course, our amazing people. But it's honestly hard to find something in Jersey that isn't taxed. That's why I talk about the nickel and diming, right? I mean, everything feels taxed. Take a look at this poster. Where's the poster? You got the poster? Sorry, we got a lot of props today. Look at this document we made. We're posting this, by the way, so this will be available for everybody. This just talks about, alone, there are more than 50 different taxes that are in place or being considered right now in our state. That doesn't include endless fees or charges or licensing fees. I mean everything from alcoholic beverage taxes, tobacco, lodging, sales tax, business taxes, gasoline, luxury vehicles. You go through it, emergency landline and cell phones. You go through it. There are a lot of things on this document. There are more than 50 different taxes being considered that are in place or being considered, as I said. It's holding back Jersey from our true potential and from growing our economy. And look at all the other taxes that are getting levied on Jersey families. New York's ridiculous congestion tax, which hits hardworking commuters with a $9 a day charge. That's on top of the tolls, parking, and gas. Then, out of nowhere, Trump just whacked families with his reckless tariffs and chaotic policies. Those could cost families more than $3,800 a year and higher costs on everything from cars to clothing to cheese. Plus, these tariffs just gutted people's retirement savings, especially hitting our seniors very hard, who were already under the gun from President Trump when he's attacked their Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. So you might imagine if you're a senior right now, you're especially feeling crushed and squeezed, trying to figure out how to make it all work. By the way, and President Trump, as you all know, ran on lowering taxes. So I'm confused because, and he also talked about lowering costs. All that's happened is these costs have gone up, way up, since he's in office. Doesn't make much sense. And let's not forget when President Trump and the red moocher states stuck it to us the first time he was president, when they gutted SALT and raised taxes on a lot of families, middle-class families, here in Jersey, when they capped SALT out at $10,000. Families stuck paying twice as much on the same amount of income. It's outrageous. It's why right now I'm in Congress fighting very hard as co-chair of the SALT caucus to make sure we do everything we can to restore the SALT deduction. So between taxes, food, utility bills, it's a lot. The truth is that taxes in Jersey are out of control. Our own state budget has grown significantly, up more than 46% since FY 2019, putting even more pressure to keep those state and local taxes high unless we actually do something about it. There are other Democrats in this race, candidates for governor, who actually are arguing we should raise taxes even more. Folks in the legislature right now, some of them are debating raising taxes even more in this budget this year. I'm the only Democrat running for governor who has a plan to cut your taxes. That's what I'm going to do as governor. It's not impossible, in fact, just the opposite. All the politicians will tell you, I can't do it. We can't do this. But it's going to take a fighter and a problem solver who's actually willing to get it done, who's put out a plan to get it done. Here's my plan. My tax cut plan, as a refresher, will cut property taxes by nearly 15%. That'll put more than $1,000 back into the average homeowner's wallet. My property tax cut won't just help homeowners afford to keep their home, it'll help small businesses keep their doors open. They also qualify for my property tax cut, which will free up dollars to hire more workers, invest in their businesses, and grow their small businesses in our great state. More than 1.2 million Jersey residents rent, and they deserve a break too, especially since rents are up about 33% over the last few years. That's why I'm also giving a $500 annual rental rebate to every renter in the state to help make that monthly payment a little easier for them. My family tax credit will cut income taxes for middle-class Jersey families to help pay for food, childcare, clothing, and more. For families in the bottom income tax bracket, I will cut your income taxes in half with my tax credit. And for the next bracket up, I'll cut by 25%. My plan is helping deliver lower taxes to people and families who need it the most. My tax cut plan also gives folks a senior bonus when they turn 70 and have lived here for at least a decade. I want our seniors to be able to afford to stay in New Jersey near their families and loved ones, not leave for a cheaper state after retirement, because let's be honest, no other state's as great as ours. Why would you want to go anywhere else unless you're forced to? Finally, I'll work to grow our state by bringing more people and more good-paying jobs to Jersey. Tax incentives for families and businesses to move to our great state. Not only bringing more revenue to Jersey, but also growing and strengthening our economy for generations to come. I have tax incentives for every new job a business brings to the state, and my Move to Jersey plan will match property tax rates from other states for 5 years on a sliding scale when someone moves to Jersey. Now listen, I get it. Some of the politicians will tell you, it's impossible, you can't do this. I hear from politicians all the time who've seen me talk about my tax cut plan say it'll never happen. That unlike other states like Connecticut and Massachusetts that have cut their taxes, we in Jersey, we just can't figure it out. That's what they say. Connecticut, again, just literally cut their income taxes for middle-class families. And they figured it out. Why can't we do it in New Jersey? There's no reason we can't run our state more efficiently. We can't rethink our model and the ways we do business. frankly, those who tell you that are full of it, totally full of it. That exact attitude is actually what got us into this mess and is keeping us in this mess, because they won't make the tough decisions and do the right things to get your taxes down, and I will. Jersey families can't afford to continue with the status quo. It's going to take work. It's going to take breaking some eggs. Well, not eggs because they're too expensive, I guess, but it's going to take breaking some glass, right? And those naysayers never saw me work, they never worked with me, doing some of the most impossible things that apparently were impossible in Congress that I got done and got across the finish line, right? They told me you'll never get the infrastructure bill done, the bipartisan infrastructure bill. I helped write it, pass it, and negotiate it. We got it done. A gun safety bill, the first in 30 years. They said a common sense gun safety, you'll never get a bipartisan gun safety bill done. We got it done. The child tax credit, expanding it. You'll never get it done. We got it done in a bipartisan way. We got the largest expansion in fighting climate change in American history. We've done things over and over and over again. My tax cut plan is fully paid for, backed by experts, and it's detailed to the level down. If you go to joshforjersey.com, you can see it. It makes our structural deficit, it deals with the structural deficit, and makes the pension payments. So it'll actually do what needs to happen. And I'll make government run more efficiently. By the way, like 20 other states at the Kennedy School of Government have put efficiency reports of other states up. We should do the same thing in New Jersey. We got to run an efficiency study. New York and California have all saved between 5 and 8% of just running things better. We're going to go after New York, which is robbing us blind by taking income taxes from people who work in Jersey. I'll get more money back from Washington. We're the second worst state in the country in terms of getting money back, clawing money back from Washington. In my district, we're up 357%. The bottom line is we got to do it in more places across the state. And finally, it's tax day. We're going to go after tax cheats. $650 million of tax cheaters in the state of New Jersey. We're going to go after them. We're going to make sure we do everything we can to get that money back here where it belongs, in your pockets. Again, we developed this with the smartest people in mind over a year with in the nerd factory. We had a nerd factory of tax people working on this and helping me out, and we got it done. I've always been a problem solver. I've always gotten impossible things done, and we're going to get this done in New Jersey. We're going to lower your taxes and lower your costs. Before I close, last thought, because it's raining out here and I don't want Fred to melt. Not only am I the only candidate in the race with a detailed tax cut plan, and the only one with a record of actually taking on and solving some of the toughest problems, but I'm also the one with the best shot at beating the Republican in November. Donald Trump would like nothing more than to have an ally running the state of New Jersey. Someone else to run along with his insane tariff plan and stick it to families in Jersey with higher taxes and higher costs on families. There's a reason why I won my district by 12 and Harris won by 1, right? Because this is what people want to know, that you're going to fight for common sense solutions like lowering their taxes and lowering costs, making life more affordable and not being afraid to do it. Harris only won our state by 6. This will be a tough November. You want somebody who can get stuff done, be a problem solver, and make life more affordable, especially in this environment with Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and higher costs, higher food prices, higher child care prices, higher utility bills, which are going higher in June, which are outrageous, 20% increase. You need somebody who's willing to fight Trump and Chitterelli and Spady and anyone else who comes after a Jersey family. We can get this done. We will get this done. I've got a long record of doing it. We can cut taxes, lower your costs, and when I'm governor, we will get it done in the greatest country in the world. Our best days will be ahead if we fight hard and do the right thing. Thanks so much.
One question.
Snowflake.